I finally did it. I finally got an arcade machine for my house. I've been wanting one since I was a kid. We're gonna check out the arcade 1-Up Pac-Man right after this.
This is, you know you listening to Travis.
What up, players? Welcome back. And for all you new people, welcome. My name's Travis and I do tech videos every single week and have a blast doing them. If that sounds like fun to you, sit back, relax, and enjoy the video. Anything I talk about will be in the description below. But for now, let's get into the video. I've long since been a fan of video games since I was a little kid, and sometimes nostalgia creeps up on me and I want to play the games of yesteryear. And early on in this channel, I actually did some reviews of retro games, including the tiny arcades. These things are amazing. They're about the size of a keychain. Really, I mean, you can put them on your keychain, and they're fully gameable games. Like, this is really Miss Pac-Man. You can legitimately play Miss Pac-Man on this thing. And there's been other manufacturers like My Arcade. I have a bunch of these as well. This one's Galaga. And it's really cool to play the old school video games on something that looks like the old school arcade cabinet. And I actually also did a review for a joystick you can buy that has over 2,000 games. 2,000 games from the 80s and 90s that I used to play in the arcade. And that did kind of scratch my nostalgic itch. But there's been something missing all this time. The small arcades are too small, and the joystick, while it's great to have the games, isn't quite the same. Like, you're playing on your TV and that's great, but it's just not the same feeling. So Arcade 1-Up came with a great idea where they're gonna sell old school games that look like the old cabinets you used to play in the arcades. These run about $300, which is a little on the high end for some of the games you get. I mean, to be honest, some of these games are 30 years old. And quite frankly, it's one or two games for $300. Actually, one of my friends, Glenn, over at Glenn's Retro Show, has done a review of a lot of these. I want you to check him out. I'll put a link to his channel somewhere around here. But I needed to get one for myself, and with Black Friday approaching, they went on sale. They haven't even been out that long, but they went on sale for $250 at Walmart.com, and I had to grab one. I had to grab the Walmart exclusive Pac-Man. So I ordered one, and I'm gonna put it back in my theater. Now here's the thing, you do have to put them together, and they are kind of short. When you buy them, they are about 4 feet tall, which is perfect for sitting. So if you're not going to sit, you're gonna wanna buy an extension that you can put on the bottom. It's a riser, and you actually will see right here where I purchased that separate from the Pac-Man arcade. And these play and sound exactly like the arcade. It's really quite amazing. Check this out here. Now, I put this thing together, and I'll be real honest, I'm not good at putting stuff together, and sure, there might have been some leftover screws and things. It took me a little over an hour to put this thing together, and it probably shouldn't have taken that long, but I really wanted to take my time, and I still didn't quite get it right. But if you have experience with IKEA furniture, you're gonna have no problem with this. And let me tell you something, when you fire that thing on, and that display comes up, the 17-inch LCD display, woo, it takes you back. Because actually, the graphics are crisper than they were back in the 80s. And this particular system comes with two games, Pac-Man and Pac-Man Plus. A lot of you maybe have never heard of Pac-Man Plus. It was one of the games they try to cash in on after the popularity of Pac-Man. But you know, whatever. I play the original Pac-Man on here, and it plays exactly the same. And let me tell you, those old school games are hard. But there's something special about having an arcade like this in my home. Like, it brings back memories. And it's a great conversation starter. Can you imagine walking in and someone sees you have 2 or 3 of these things lined up against the wall and go, what are you doing with your life? For me, I love it. I'm a big video game fanatic, like I said. And if I could get a couple more spaces in my house to be able to put these in, I'd probably buy them all. Now, I don't know that I'd buy them at the full price because I have to get the riser for these. I like to play them standing. So that's another $40 to $50 on top of the $300 that they normally go for. I think probably in 2019 we'll see some price changes on these, hopefully anyway, at least the older ones when they come out with newer ones. And at a $250 price, I'm gonna tell you, worth it every single penny. I really, really, really love this machine. Now this thing supports 2 players. Of course, you can hit the 2 players and you take turns. Each person takes a turn and plays and whatever. You try to beat the high score. And it brings back a lot of memories. The sounds are perfect. The graphics are great. I will say one thing, if you stand too far one side, I noticed that it kind of bleeds out, like the screen isn't like perfect, kind of, I don't know, it goes lighter or something. You'd know if you saw like a really old school LCD screen when you go kind of to the angle. Other than that though, it works perfectly. I will say one thing though, it's not heavy. It's actually, once you put it together, it's quite easy to move around. But when you unbox this thing, you're gonna have to have a large area to construct this thing with. And it probably would be helpful to have 2 people because there's certain parts where you have to stand things up and plug. Listen, let me explain something to you. I was gonna take video of me putting it together, but it wouldn't have been pretty. And I'm excited for the other games that Arcade 1-Up may come out with. And listen, Arcade 1-Up, if you wanna send me some, feel free. So who is this for? who is it really for? Like, who's gonna buy one of these? Like, I did because I'm kind of geeky about that sort of thing and I love retro arcade games. But a lot of people don't have space for something like this. If you do happen to have a man cave, man, this thing is perfect. I'd get 2 or 3 for that. And the number of games they have now is actually pretty good. They even have machines that have 12 games on them. And we're talking like Asteroids, we're talking Galaga, we're talking all types of amazing games from back in the day. Now, I'm curious as to what will be coming out in 2019. I'm sure they have a tremendous lineup that they're setting up, and I'm gonna keep my eye on it. But again, for me, space is of the absolute importance. So if you live in an apartment or something like that, you could probably fit one in, but fitting much more than that in, I don't think it's gonna happen. And I would really wait for these to go down to $250 like when I bought it, because if you have to buy the riser as well, I mean, you're up to over $300 plus tax and maybe even some shipping. And at that point, it's hard for me to say, yes, you should get it. If you get one of the ones that have like 12 games on them, fantastic, you're getting your money's worth. Unless you're a Pac-Man champion and you absolutely have to have one of these, I would say wait until it goes on sale. But I'm super happy with this thing. I can't wait for people to come over and play, try to beat my high score. I just think it's amazing that we're in a point in our lives where we can relive our childhood to an incredible degree. I got next up, Quarter on the Machine. So make sure to check out Glenn's channel. He's got a bunch of reviews of all the other machines that are in this lineup, and he really does a really good in-depth jump into these things and tells you a lot more about them than I ever could. I'll just tell you, I love this thing. I am so happy I got it. It's not being returned, and that's the other thing. If you didn't like it, trying to return this thing is gonna be a beast. So you better know what you're doing. If this video helped you out in any way, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. And if it didn't, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and hit that notification bell. I'm here every single week, having a blast. Hope to see you again real soon. Peace and love, peace and love.